Hi loves, and welcome back to my channel. So last week I showed you guys how I did my top knots using my UNice hair, and I got the Peruvian straight hair in 20 inches. And today I'm going to show you guys how I make my clip-ins. So I'm only using 2 bundles for this. As you guys can see, the hair is super soft, and I like to use the Peruvian hair because I feel like it matches my hair texture a little better than Brazilian and Indian hair when it's straight. So this is what I do. So first thing that I like to do is I like to measure my clips out. So I start in the back. I usually do between 5 and 7 clips. I believe I did 6 clips this time. So I start in the back right above my neck, and this is my first piece, and this piece usually has 3 clip-ins in it, and then I just start measuring my way up. So I do this one first, and then I go up to the next piece. To the next piece. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied. I go up to the next piece. I'm going to show you guys with me parting so you can see exactly where it will go. So the first piece went a little bit lower than this, and this one, the part, it doesn't have to be straight because I'm not putting them in. It don't even have to be straight when you put them in, honestly. But yeah, so this is what I do. So I take the clips, and I like to do mine double. You can put as many tracks on here as you want, but you got to remember, the more tracks that you put on it when you do it this way, the kind of bulkier they're going to be. So I feel like 2 is perfect. And yeah, this clip went from ear to ear, and then I'm just going to speed this up so I can show you guys the complete process of how I measure my tracks before I add my clip-ins on.
Lately I've heard you on radio stations, and I love your voice, so I just feel frustration. And everyone's right when they say that I'll be moving on in time. Yes, I'm moving on. You're so dry, and I must find my way to make this stop. Yes, I'm stumbling, but I will find someone to raise me up. You're so dry, and I must find.
So once I finish where I want to put the clip-ins in the back of my hair, I usually only have to do 2 in the front, and these are fairly short, and they have 2 clips on each of these wefts. Again, these are doubled as well. So I just go ahead and measure that out. I don't have to measure both sides of my head because these 2 clips will be even with each other. So I can just use the first one that I measured to create the second one. And then once I do that, we're going to start the process of sewing the tracks together. Again, you do not have to do 2 wefts per clip, but I like mine double because I like mine to look a little bit more full, and because I don't do that many clip-ins. So first thing that I like to do is I just take my needle and my thread, and I go ahead and sew these 2 tracks together. So once you're done, it should look something like this, and I like to go ahead and double all of my tracks and sew them together first, and then I like to go in with my clips. So this is the clip that's going to go on the front. This track has 2, it's going to have 2 clip-ins on it, and what I like to do is I like to go in first through the hole that's at the beginning of the clip. I go through that twice, then I randomly go through a middle piece in the middle. It usually doesn't have a hole right here, so you just kind of have to force it and make it work, but if your needle is small enough, it should go through. And then I go through the clip, through the hole at the end of the clip twice, just to make sure it's secure, just like I did with the first hole. And then as I'm making my way to sew in my next clip, I like to just take the needle and thread and go through, probably, it's usually about 1 inch. I want to say I usually space them out about 1 inch, and I just go through the middle piece with the needle and thread so I don't have to keep cutting and knotting and cutting and knotting with each clip. So I just use that to make my way to where I'm going to position the next clip, and then I sew it in same way I did the first clip, 2 times through the first hole, 1 time through the middle of the clip, and then 2 times through the second hole, and that is it, guys. So yeah, it's pretty simple, it's pretty quick. And yeah, I just like to make sure that I position my clips at least like 1 inch or maybe 2 fingers apart from each other, and then my clips have anywhere from 2 to 5 clip-ins in it. I never do more than 5 clips on my track. And yeah, this is the final product, and it should look like this. Make sure that you put the flat piece against the hair because I've sewed these clips on wrong so many times and had to redo them. But yeah, this is what the hair looks like washed and dyed. As you guys can see, my hair is super dark black, so I had to dye them because they're about a 1B fresh out of the pack. And then I'm just going to start applying them. Again, I start in the back. This clip has 3 clips on it, and then as I work my way up, it goes to 4, and then I think I did 5, and then I think I did 4, and then I did the 2 at the top.
Strikes by my window, hits my chest right in the morning, like a warning. Could have slept here for days. I felt your heartbeat, felt your mouth breathe, but it's not real. We were close to see the sun, but clouds got in our way, and so
Once I have all of my clips in, I just like to go ahead and go in with this Thermal Wonder by Care Care. It is a heat protectant and I use it to straighten my real hair, but I like the shine that it has because it's not too heavy and it's like perfect without weighing the hair down. And then of course I'm going to go in with my LovelyB's edge control and slick my edges down because no look is complete without your edges laid. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. I'll have all the details for the hair and the links for everything that I use down below. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button and hit that little bell so you're notified when I post new videos every week. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next one.